So one of the best bits of Arkham Origins was the forensic scanner, in which you could piece together bits of a crime scene to make the overall picture. And I'm really glad that Rocksteady decided to adapt it, saying as WB Montreal stole so much from their games. It's really just a nice way of sort of seeing how Batman would look at a crime scene forensically and figure out exactly what had happened. You can sort of see shades of this within the Dark Knight, although it's not exactly, you know, bang on. But the way that he uses the sonar and the great detective scene in the Dark Knight, where he looks at the bullet, scans it, works out which gun it's from, and then from there can piece together the fingerprints and whatnot. It really does speak volumes to how good of a detective Batman is, and why he's so far advanced beyond the police, because he has got all this great technology that allows him to piece together bits similar to The Long Halloween, which is very much a detective story. It's nice that they remember the Dark Knight's roots. Obviously he came from Detective Comics 27, 1939, written by Bill Finger and Bob Kane, and it is great that they've played into those roots, because, you know, the guy's a bloody great guy. I don't know what I was meant to be doing here because I was talking, but, you know, it's nice that this has all been a part of it. One of the best detective comics, I actually think, is a single issue. It's part of Future's End, from Detective Comics, I believe, and it centers around Batman taking the Riddler into Arkham to sort of break everything down. If you're sort of more into the cerebral side of Batman, I would definitely recommend anything with the Riddler in. Unlike this game, you know, where he just leaves trophies about and sets up race courses, you know, which stuff the Riddler would never do. A lot of them are very, you know, cerebral and psychological, especially ones like
the caliber of the weapon is
Zero, there's a part 1 of Zero, Secret City, which sort of introduces the Riddler, but he's not the main villain of that. It actually centers around the Red Hood gang, which ties into the origin of the Joker. But the second part of it, Dark City, is when the Riddler's taken over Gotham. It's a no man's land, and he challenges every citizens every day to riddles, and if they answer one right, he'll set the city free. No one's managed to do it though.
Oracle knew she couldn't escape.
So yeah, definitely recommend picking those up. There are unfortunately some stories like Dark Victory, which I mentioned earlier, in which the Riddler's a complete buffoon. But yeah, there's the nice one. There's also Catwoman When in Rome, which the Riddler plays a big part of, but he just comes across like an absolute idiot, and it's sort of, yeah, it's not really fair to the character's roots, because there are brilliant stories in which he is the Dark Knight's equal on so many levels cerebrally.
Oracle left me the scrambler device.
So no matter how many times that happens, I always completely crap me pants. I should know by now, but whenever I see it, I'm always like, oh no.
The bad creature's still at large on Miyagani Island.
Let's go get him. And whilst I do it, we'll talk about Leather Wings, which was the first animated series Batman episode. The animated series obviously has a huge influence on this game, saying as it was the first time that Mark Hamill, Kevin Conroy were cast in the roles of Batman and the Joker, and it's really, I think it's an absolutely outstanding episode. I've seen a lot of criticisms, mainly coming from IGN, saying that they didn't like it, but I think it's absolutely brilliant. Like, everything down to the animation's top notch. It's the first time that the orchestra gets introduced, and it really cements the world of, and sets up a lot of the aesthetics of this universe. Like, there's a brilliant bit where Batman's down in the Batcave, and a doctor comes on and you can see just him switching to the Bruce Wayne persona, or like the doctor calls him and he just switches right in it. He's like, oh hey, what's up, doc? And then as soon as the phone hangs up, he's like, those bats, they're not that way. And it's really great to see the transition between the two, and you can sort of view them as two entities. Like, one of the brilliant things about Christopher Reeve's Superman was when he was Clark Kent, the guy was a bumbling idiot. He was a complete buffoon. You just couldn't see him as Superman. Yet, as soon as those glasses come up, his back would straighten up. He would, you know, he'd gain a backbone, and it really, you could see the transformation and almost view them as two separate entities, and it was so well put together. And that's mirrored in the way that Kevin Conroy plays Batman and Bruce Wayne. It's just a breathtaking episode, and it's got all of the heights of Gotham. It introduces the blimps, and it's about Batman stopping Man-Bat, and it's sort of it has horror elements to it. You see the transformation between Dr. Langstrom and his alter ego Man-Bat. It's just really like atmospheric, and I definitely recommend you watch it if you haven't seen it in a while. It still holds up today. It's on Amazon Prime, or you can buy the DVD collection. Definitely recommend picking it up. Man-Bat, sorry, is one of my favorite Batman characters of the animated series, and it's great to see him reappear in this game. And over there you can see the good old Arkham City. I don't think that's a riddle, to be honest. You've got the Wonder Tower there, which is obviously where Batman had his final confrontation with Hugo Strange. Brilliant game. Watch my playthrough of the first couple of hours if you get a chance to. It's not as good as this one yet. I wasn't as up on the editing yet, so it just kind of ramble on. But yeah, definitely check it out and get the game, get the remaster version of it, because it still holds up today as one of the best Batman games of all time, and you get Arkham Asylum along with it, so take it. One of the best parts of this game is definitely this moment, I think, when you're sort of just viewing exactly, visiting the underground and seeing all of the ways that Arkham Knight has been planning this out with Scarecrow. And you know, you're sort of becoming aware slowly of how much he hates you, and I love how the Joker's just sort of standing over them now, and you're still getting flashbacks of him. This bit though, don't really understand it. I've scanned that area before, the lad wasn't up there, and also he comes around the side and shoots you in like the intestines. In Batman, like, he just sprays the thing and that's it. He never needs to deal with it again. It would be great if you kept having moments where Batman was like, you know, about to attack someone, and then he realizes like he's in so much pain because he's been shot in the side. The lad, he never takes the bullet out, so I don't know exactly how he's still walking around with a big piece of lead inside him. But yeah, nice little touch, nice guys. I know it's a comic book, yeah. I know it's not real, yeah. None of this is real, but I just expect a bit of realism. In the place up, what the hell? So it's great how you're stuck in this zone until you realise that you've got your bloody best mate with you all the time. I know sometimes the Batmobile's a bit of a hindrance, especially when you're fighting 700 waves of drones, which I've read over 200 Batman comics, and I can't remember that happening in the comic, but I'll let them take a bit of creative license on it. But just moments like this, it's absolutely great, the fact that it just gets you out of everything. And you know, it is nice to have it there. When we were playing Arkham Asylum in Arkham City back in the day, we were moaning on all the time, going, oh, I wish the Batmobile was here. And Rocksteady were like, well, you want your Batmobile, you can have it. You can have it every single moment of the day. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. I think I remember them saying that at E3 when they were pitching the game. So it is good that it's popped up. A lot of Batman stories feature the Batmobile, but there's not really a Batmobile-centric storyline, which is a bit strange. However, in Batman Earth 1 Volume 2, they talk about how Batman, you know, he's obviously got a team who builds all this stuff. There's no way one man could sit and build like all the Batcave and all the gadgets he has. So they sort of assign Lucius Fox's staff at Wayne Enterprise to work on stuff, and just say it's like it's for a millionaires. Like they're just like, oh yeah, Batman wants this. It's not Batman. I've just bloody gave the game away. Sorry, I mean Bruce Wayne, your boss. He wants a car built that sort of can drive on water and fly. So yeah, make sure you get that done. And then just as the lads are finishing it up, to draw suspicion away, they're like, oh, he's changed his mind. He doesn't want it anymore. I don't know if you've ever worked for a millionaire before, but I have. I'm a web designer in my full-time job. And it's great because you've got a constant flow of work because, you know, it's a guy with a lot of money, but they also change their mind like no one's business. So that sort of is what comes across from Bruce Wayne's portrayal. He's like, I want a pair of boots that allows you to walk on the walls of Gotham's sewer system. And they're like, alright, I will build that. And then Lucius, we've done it, we've built them. It took 7 months, but we're finding out, oh yeah, Bruce has changed his mind. He didn't want that anymore. He actually wants a grapple gun, or that also shoots daisies. And they're like, right, well, Batman wouldn't want that, but so he's definitely not Batman, and I'm sick of my life, but we'll build it. And he's like, oh, I know you're sick of your life because you keep getting this work given to you and then taken off, but yeah, actually, the lad's decided, because you've been such good staff, he's gonna give you his whole pay rise. And they're like, oh, alright, well, we'll do it. So that's sort of an insight of what it's like working for someone rich. And it also explains how Batman gets the Batmobile built, he gets all these gadgets built, and he operates without people really getting too suspicious, because if you knew your boss was Batman but he was paying you a crap load of money all the time, you'd be like, oh, I might just let the lad keep doing it. This bit's a bit of a funny bit because he drives the bloody thing on his head. I love how that guard there had a Arkham Knight voice modulator though. You can also get them for Batman in Asda. I seen one yesterday. It's a little helmet you put on and you sound like Batman from the movie Batman v Superman. So one for the kids, I mean, or your 29-year-old brother, which might just be me, so make sure you get us one for Christmas. That's just a message to my sister, because I know she watches these videos. But yeah, I don't know if this is very Batman driving, you know, the Batmobile with a bloody 6,900 inch tire. Don't know if that's the size of it. I realised halfway through that sentence I'm not very sure of the size of these tires, but yeah, would he necessarily do that on a lad's head? Probably not. He would probably do what he does in The Dark Knight Returns, which is take a guy's body up to a roof and just hang him over the edge. So yeah, bit of insight there. Oh hey, I just sort of had a riddle, like involving the fact that you have no hand. That's kind of why I was like looking over your shoulder, scanning you. It's not 'cause I'm weird or anything. It's actually like a guy called the Riddler, sort of. Yeah, he's been making fun of your hand. We've all kind of noticed. I know you made a hook for it, but yeah, we all noticed. So this is one of the DLC add-ons involving the Mad Hatter, which I kind of want to talk about, because the Mad Hatter, right, yeah, absolutely hate him as a villain. I just think it's ridiculous that they even made the Mad Hatter into a Batman villain. It's like picking up, you know, you can't think of a villain I'm trying to write a comic. I can't think of a villain. Oh, what's this book in the library? Alice in Wonderland. Right, just pick a character out of that. Put him in Batman. The comic, we've got a deadline on Monday. We need it in. So I've never really liked it. The guy always sort of, his storylines always revolve around him kidnapping a blonde-haired woman, dressing her up as Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Sometimes she has a boyfriend that he beats up, and Batman has to stop the Mad Hatter with his soldiers that dress like rabbits, and his hats that he puts on people's heads that make them hypnotized by him. Mind control is another thing that I always hate. I absolutely hate mind control because it's such a crap part of a story. But anyway, I digress. The reason I'm recording it is not to slag the lad off. Scott Snyder has completely changed my mind on the character. Like I said, I didn't really like the guy at all. Not Scott Snyder, I love that guy, Mad Hatter. But in All-Star Batman and All-Star Batman, not All-Star Batman and Robin, which is terrible. All-Star Batman, Scott Snyder's done a story called Ends of the Earth, in which Batman sort of travels around trying to stop a virus. On his way, he encounters Mad Hatter. Mad Hatter's like, look, you little dickhead. You're you know my hats, yeah, they control people's minds. They make them see what they want to see. Don't know if you remember me, but we actually met once when you would just return to Gotham. You are part of Wayne Enterprise, and you know, you turned me down. You didn't like my idea. He's like, yeah, so I remember that. Anyway, it turns out that the Mad Hatter had developed a hat that when you put it on, it allowed you to skin the world as you saw fit. Similar to Snapchat filters, similar to sort of VR. You could use this thing and it would pick up on your fantasies and make you see the world in the way you've seen it. In the flashbacks, Bruce Wayne, he's been wearing a bloody hat. So, Mad Hatter's like, look, you probably don't remember, but I actually give you that hat that you had. Oh crap, why is this not working? I give you that hat. Ooh, the controls on this aren't very good. It's sort of ruining me moment, isn't it? Explaining this. Because you don't remember, but I give you that hat, and you've actually, what happened was you wanted to be Batman, but you paralyzed yourself, and you've been sat in a chair, like a wheelchair. You can't move, but you've got this hat on that makes you think that you're Batman. And he starts explaining how all of Batman's enemies, like the Joker and Bane, they're actually just people at a psychiatrist's unit. The doctor's trying to help and heal Bruce Wayne and take him out of this world, because the Mad Hatter says, unfortunately, when I developed the hat, I didn't realize how addictive it would be, and you refuse to take it off and accept the world as it is. And Batman's just like, oh, what? And even as a reader, I was like, bloody hell, the last 75 years of Batman history have been a lie. He's just a lad sat in a chair getting hypnotized, and he's been on Snapchat too long. He's obsessed with all that. So this is an absolutely brilliant story. Spoilers coming up. Batman goes, well, if that is the case, and I am stuck in this virtual reality world, then it means that if I kill you, then there's going to be no consequences because you're not real. Obviously the Mad Hatter is like, oh crap, he's going to kill us. He starts beating the crap out of him, and Mad Hatter is like, oh, right, okay, sorry, I'm sorry, I lied to you. You are real, I'm sorry. But it's just a really nice twist on it, and as I was reading, I was like, wow, Scott Snyder has taken this goofy character that I really didn't like, and he's managed to change him into something that I massively respect. So definitely, it's just come out as a hardcover. I definitely recommend that you pick up All-Star Batman, both Volume 1 and Volume 2, because they're absolutely outstanding. I haven't read much of the issues in the lead up to Volume 3, but you know, it's Scott Snyder. It's going to be great work. So make sure you go pick that up.
You are in the Batman. Protect the demon's head.
And interestingly, that story with the Mad Hatter ties into Ra's al Ghul. He's sort of developed the virus, you find out, and he's unleashing it on the city. Of course, you know, Batman, he's not too thick, so but he's got this stuff planned out.
But the
Anyway,
automated door has no power.
oh,
I need to find a way to
I
open
can
it.
get in that way. I don't think I've actually done this mission before. Yeah, you see a scene where Ra's al Ghul shoots Batman in the head, he unleashes the virus and he kills the entire world and he finally wins. And then you realise that tying back into the little virus, the little Mad Hatter
I
thing,
need to restore
Batman's
power
buddy
to
puts something on his head so he thinks that he's won. So it's a really nice little finish to the story.
Thanks, Alfred.
It's a 4-arc issue and I just think it's absolutely breathtaking. Basically, I 100% recommend that you pick it up and get yourself away. And here is Ra's al Ghul in his lovely, lovely, humble abode. He's a very fascinating villain. I definitely recommend you check out Birth of the Demon, I think it is, in which it tells the origin story of Ra's al Ghul. He basically started off as an advisor to the Sultan centuries ago. The Sultan's son was a bit of a dickhead, but you know, he was his advisor, so he had to look after him. Anyway, the Sultan got ill. Sultan's son got ill from a virus, and Ra's discovered and developed the Lazarus Pit to bring him back from the edge of death. Unfortunately, in the Lazarus Pit there lies a certain madness, and once you are fully revived, you go mad for a certain amount of time, and the Sultan's son come out and killed Ra's al Ghul's wife. The Sultan's father, obviously being heavily biased towards his son,
I won't help you revive.
thought it was fine, outcast Ra's, and then Ra's al Ghul sort of had to delve into the Lazarus Pit himself, and he goes from a good man to a bad man, and he uses the virus once more. This is when they sort of discover microviruses and things like that, and obviously it was a time before science. It was 1,000 years ago, and he uses this weapon to take out all of the Sultan and his followers without even raising a finger, really. And it really shows the methodical thinking of Ra's al Ghul, and I definitely recommend you check that out, as it's such a good interesting origin story. And that summarizes my third playthrough of Arkham Connect, starring Batman. I hope you're having a good time with it. I'm having a really good time sort of recapping everything and going through the graphic novels, and if you are having a great time, I'd really appreciate it if you can subscribe to my channel. I post things like this all the time. I've recently done a video review of The Dark Knight Returns where I'm analysing it issue by issue, and I definitely recommend that you just check it out. If you like Batman and stuff like me, if you're a bit of a loser like me, then check it out. Or if you're a cool guy, check it out as well. So thanks very much for checking everything out, and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Peace.